Let's do it, baby.
All right. Before we get started, can I play some sound for you real quick? I want to get your reaction. Hey, guys, can we get that sound from Jay Norvell, please?
Our kids are really, you know, we had to do a bunch of ESPN videos, and it was great. I loved it. But our kids came out of those videos really with a chip on their shoulder. They're tired of all that stuff. They really are tired of it. And I sat down with ESPN today, and I don't care if they hear it in Boulder. I told them I took my hat off and I took my glasses off, and I said, when I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and my glasses off. That's what my mother taught me. So, you know, they're not going to like us no matter what we say or do. It doesn't matter, okay?
Prime, talk to me.
I can't. What am I supposed to say to that? I mean, the first day we were just two African-Americans. Yeah. You know, complimenting one another. And we were doing it like it's supposed to be done. But, you know, I guess.
What changed?
Out of abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. That's what my book told me.
So he felt some type of way about you before. That was just a put on in the beginning.
I guess.
Maybe you should give him some blenders after the game. Just throwing that out there.
Let's just call it what it is, my brother. It's always good to see you. You know that. What you have done here, you know, first of all, back-to-back swag titles before you got here, okay? And you got a whole bunch of people out there that just don't want you to succeed, just envious, just a little bit jealous, if not a lot. You take over a 1-11 program. You got 86 new players, kept 10 scholarship players. How did we get to this point, Prime, where we're in this position where right now the program here at Colorado has the highest ticket prices in the nation, $517, because people are clamoring so much to be here. How'd you pull this off so far?
We believe. I mean, Stephen A., we have a wonderful plan. We have a wonderful support staff. The coaching staff is impeccable. And the kids that we went out there and targeted to come, as well as the ones we brought in, we just believe. Regardless of the noise, regardless of the naysayers, we truly believe in what's inside that locker room and what's dictating those plays. And now we truly believe in the student body and the fans and what we're creating. We just truly believe.
What made you confident that you could be this and be a coach on this level?
Because I've always been that.
True.
Like this just is a different tool I'm using.
Okay.
But it's the same game.
Right.
It's just a different tool. So I don't remember when I had won. Like, I've always wanted to win. I've always did what I had to do. Because when you're trying to win at a certain level, you know this, and even in television, there are going to be sacrifices that you got to accept. And you really, you got to cross some of those hurdles to get to that place that we call there. Because that's what we're chasing, that place called there. And I'll be darned if I'm going to get there. Yeah, and we're going to get there, aren't we?
Yeah. You about your son. So obviously I've seen him in all the interviews, what he's done on the field, exceptional, but just sitting down with him today, he is grace under fire. He is so impressive on and off the field, how he conducts himself. He's got confidence, but he's humble at the same time. He's just smooth. Does he remind you of you at all? Because Shedeur reminds me of you.
At different aspects. Like, all my sons have different intangibles. Shiloh's me to a certain level. Okay. Junior's me to a certain level. Then Shedeur is that. Shedeur may be more of me because he's spent the most time with me. He's always lived with me. He's always been there with me. And all my kids I've coached all the way up. But I'm the only coach he's ever known. He hadn't known another coach. So me being out in Jackson when I went through this situations with my foot and having surgery, missing 4 games, that was the first time in his life that he ever played a game without me. And that was tremendous for him.
Well, they might have to bring you to the NFL to coach him.
I ain't going to the NFL. I like it in Boulder. I love it right here. Yeah, I know what you're getting at.
Prime, you know, one of the things, and I think it's important for all of us to get a little personal here. Okay. We all love you. We all got love for you. You've been through a lot, my man.
Yes,
Was it 12 surgeries in the last 3 years?
Last 2.5 years.
Last 2.5 years, the amputation of 2 toes. You've been through a lot. In building, working, and winning, you were going through your own personal trials and tribulations. Speak to what the last 2.5 years have been like for you in its totality.
I mean, I remember making the decision, and they said, well, we may have to take your leg. Cool. We may have to take your toe. Cool. Well, now it's to your life. And then you step back and say, oh, dang. So this has gotten real. And you really start putting things in perspective, and things that you thought mattered that didn't really matter no more, because life is on the line now. And just laying there on my back, in that hospital, and just thinking and praying, and I never lost faith. I never lost sight of the calling and what I've been called here to do. And I've never had a pity party. I never said, why me? I can't say, why me? I'm sitting in the hospital having 12 surgeries. With why me? I'm sitting in this type of crib. Right. When I'm earning this type of salary, or commanding this type of attention. If you say, why me to that, you got to say, why me to this. I've never said that. And I always knew I had a purpose. And you got to understand, when you go through these tempestuous trials and tribulations, that's building you for something. Yes. So I've been built and established for this.
Right. But it's one thing for you to know that. I know you can handle you.
Right.
But you're surrounded by a lot of love. We see that. And so for people to witness, your children, for example, to witness you going through this, what was it like for them?
Tough. It was tough. It gave them faith, though, because they didn't see Daddy stutter. They didn't see Daddy
You didn't waver.
Like Bucky had told me, he had never seen Daddy cry. He'd never seen Daddy shed tears or show that type of emotion. I'd never wavered, but that gave my kids. I remember when my kids first see my legs, Shedeur and Shiloh, they didn't want to look. They didn't want to look and see the amputation and the severity of it. But they came to the hospital to support me. But that was tremendous, because that's the first time your father, that man has raised you and cultivated you. Now he's on his back. He had to put rails in the bathroom and the toilets. I couldn't even make it to the bathroom by myself. So my security that's with me now, they was with me then, taking me to the bathroom, pulling me out of the toilet, just doing those type of things. I couldn't even get up to save my life. And that was tough, because I prided myself on being a man and being there for everybody else when I couldn't even be there for myself at the time. That was probably the toughest time of my life.
What's been the toughest thing about being a Power 5? I mean, coaching is coaching. And what people didn't realize, and I tell the people this all the time, you and I went to the hall together in 2011.
Right.
But you brought a busload of kids that played.
7 buses.
That would go all over. You played in Ohio. Right. So you've been a coach a long time. You just didn't start at Jackson State and at Colorado. Right. But what's been the toughest transition along the way, the level of coaching high school, Jackson State, and not Colorado?
Just expectation. Because my expectation on someone else's expectation, that it has to add up. Because I expect
greatness,
commitment, sacrifice. I expect you to give me your best. You don't have to be the best, but just give me your best.
But I've told you this, and we don't talk as much as because I know you got a lot on your plate now.
You're making a lot of money. You want to call You really want me to? Okay, we can talk about that later. But go ahead. Stephen A., I'll tell you, I ain't going to get to that.
And I've told Stephen A. this. You are the most patient person that I've ever met that was a historically or transcendent great player.
You did
because great players don't have a lot of patience.
Right.
I was like, and I ask you this all the time, say, how are you so patient? You said, man, it's the kid. That's my call.
Yeah, but the reason we're impatient because we expect somebody to be us. Why would you expect Molly? Ain't nobody like Molly.
You got to meet people where they are.
Ain't no more Shannons. Right. So, I don't expect who you are. I don't expect to be me. You can't be me. Right. God only made one. But I want your best. I got to find out where you like it in, and let's build that part of you up. But I can't expect you to you be me.
I didn't ask you, and I'm not going to ask you really a question about the NFL, and for this reason. I've told people, obviously you and I go back so many years, and I've told folks, I'd be shocked if he ever coached on the NFL level because this brother loves kids.
Love it.
And when he was doing what we do on television, even then he would carve out stuff contractually to make sure nothing interfered with him coaching kids. Right. And so now that you're here, I'm wondering, how does this job compared to all the other jobs you had when you were a football player, when you were on television, when you were coaching high schools, to be on this level while coaching kids? Speak to where you are now compared to where you've been.
I'm supposed to be. Like, God has called me right to this place, to this time, to this era, to this state, to this city. Like, I'm in my zone. I'm in my thing. I got my rhythm. Like, when I said in the press conference, and I was feeling it, like, I'm about to get comfortable, baby. You don't want me to get comfortable. Like, that's really how I feel.
Right.
I'm in my purpose, and I absolutely love it.
Have you contemplated what life will be like for you if Colorado becomes
win?
Okay. Okay. Wait.
Just use win. Okay. I'm gonna talk like you thought. Just use win. Right there, just use win.
I'm your boy.
I'm gonna do you.
I'm your boy. I ain't one of them reporters.
That's right.
I believe. You understand? What I'm asking you is, what is life gonna be like for you? I mean, you're a two-time Super Bowl champion. You're a Hall of Fame. You've achieved and witnessed some of the greatest moments ever in sports history. What will it be like for you when this program is in the national title picture? Do you fantasize about that? Do you dream about that? Do you think about that?
I don't dream or fantasize. But when I do dream, I'm wide awake. Most people dream when I'm asleep. I'm wide awake because I'm up and able to go get it. So I've seen that, and I know how we gonna go get it. I know how we gonna go conquer it. I know how we gonna go do it. And we don't need much. All you recruits, where's my camera? All you recruits out there, baby, you know I ain't hard to find. I ain't hard to find. We're about 7 to 8 dogs away from just changing the game. 7 to 8.
And when you say changing the game, what does that mean?
That means
when you say, what does that mean?
That means when we walk out there, we know what we know. Put my theme music on time, we come out the locker room because you know what we know. We're about 7 or 8 away from that.
Arguably one of the greatest athletes to ever live.
Ain't nobody arguing with you. Ain't nobody arguing.
Greatest athlete to ever live.
Okay.
You played football, you played baseball.
Nice in basketball.
Nice in basketball. All state basketball.
Yeah.
And now you're a coach. What's the hardest one?
Hitting that baseball.
It's harder than coaching.
Hitting that baseball. Hitting that baseball.
Right.
Yeah, that baseball ain't no joke. That's why they fail 7 out of 10 times and they still making 400 million a year.
Right.
Yeah, but I love, see, this is what I love. Like, I love the conversations. I love the relationships. I love the inspiration. I love what the kids give me. They keeping me young. Like I love the different personalities, the different cliques. I love all this stuff. It ain't work. When I get there in the morning, I'm ready. Like, I love it.
On a collegiate level, what, if not who, has been your biggest inspiration?
Probably every coach that coached me. I gleaned from my Pee Wee football coach, Dave Capel. I gleaned from Coach Mickey Andrews and Coach Bowden. I gleaned from so many others along the way that has blessed me so much. Because when I thought they were Coach Ron Hoover, my high school coach, when I thought it was something else, it was really this. They was just preparing me. My high school football coach, he had all my basketball letters because he wanted me to go in this direction. Like, he knew, oh, no, you got it. I don't need you doing that. You all right in that.
Right.
You all stayed in that, but this is your path. And I respect the heck out of him for that. Well, Coach Mickey Andrews has added to me, and I could call him right now when I get off this show. He going to say, the standard is the standard.
Have you thought about the kind of impact and the kind of doors that you've opened for others?
I don't, because I don't have time to think about that.
Got it.
I have time to focus on kicking down the doors and blowing the doors up so we can all come in. I don't care what ethnicity. I mean, so we can all come in and unite and together. Look around this, man. This ain't no black thing. This ain't no white thing. This is a we thing.
That's right.
That's what this is, and that's what I've been called to Boulder to do, to make it a we thing. When I walked out there and I saw it, I'm so sorry. I just missed the whole intro, and I wanted to see all, our Buffalo Run. I wanted to see all that.
Right.
I wanted to see all that. And I didn't get to see all that. But when we came out, I looked in the stands, and I didn't. It wasn't a white crowd or a black crowd. It was a Buffalo crowd. Yeah! That's what it was. And I adore that.
Love seeing you in your element. It's so good to be here. Tell us what we can expect Saturday night on ESPN, Colorado State, 10 Eastern.
It's personal. Might I add this too? You guys look so good in these shades. I don't even know.
I'm rocking.
Somebody please give me this picture because I need to see this.
I'm rocking. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.